Therefore, Xie Wenru immediately replied in the group, "Hey, my wife has passed away long ago. It seems that Mei Qing and I have the same fate." An old classmate who had something good, heard his words and immediately said in the group, "Oh, then you and Mei Qing? Aren't this a match made in heaven?" Several other old classmates who took his red envelopes also joined in. Some people even said, "Oh, Xie Wenru, you and Mei Qing are now widowed, then you two are really suitable, and I remember that you had a soft spot for Mei Qing back then. You must work hard." Ah, we old classmates are all blessing you from our hearts. When Xie Wenru heard this, he immediately laughed and said, "Then I would like to thank the old classmates for their blessings in advance, but this matter still depends on what Mei Qing means." Having said that, he said again, "Whether Mei Qing replied or not, I decided to return to Orus Hill for long-term development this time. Isn't it?" Someone in the group exclaimed, "Xie Wenru, your family has been developing in Hong Kong for many years? Why did you suddenly decide to return to Orus Hill at this time?" Xie Wenru said, "Mei Qing has lived in the United States for so many years, and she has decided to come back now? It seems that we are better at Orus Hill. This is the place where we swayed our youth, sweat and tears. I intend to come back this time." Retired in Orus Hill. Jacob couldn't help it anymore. He immediately tweeted in the group, "Xie Wenru, I advise you not to settle in Orus Hill. Mei Qing didn't like you back then, and it's impossible to like you now, so don't bother yourself." In fact, Jacob was very nervous and inferior at this time. In his opinion, Xie Wenru is now a large Hong Kong businessman, worth hundreds of millions, and he is stronger than himself and he doesn't know where to go. He hasn't had a good life all these years. Compared with the high-spirited self in college, it's a world of difference. The most important thing is that he and Elaine have not yet divorced, they are still married, and Xie Wenru is now widowed. It just so happens that Mei Qing is also widowed, so if they are together, it is really a good fit. Therefore, no matter how the comparison is made, he's at a disadvantage. He hasn't seen Mei Qing for so many years, and Jacob can't figure out what Mei Qing is thinking now. What if she sees Xie Wenru right at the party at noon? Xie Wenru saw Jacob talking in the group at this time, and said with a smile, "Oh, I thought that our original student council president would only snatch red envelopes. I didn't expect that the president would finally speak." Jacob's face immediately turned red when he heard this. As the saying goes, he was sluggish and short-handed. He just snatched several 200 red envelopes from others. Now that he was identified, his face was really a bit unbearable. This is no food in the pocket, panic in my heart. Jacob has never had a rich life. In addition, Elaine has always been in charge of the money in the family before. Therefore, even if he grabs a red envelope of 5 and 8 from the WeChat group, he can be happy for a long time. So it has long been a habit to grab every red envelope. Today, Xie Wenru gave out red envelopes in the group. He didn't even bother to see who sent it. The first thing was to grab them first. In the end, each of these red envelopes was 200, and Jacob who grabbed it was secretly happy in his heart, but he did not expect that the grab was a red envelope issued by a rival in love, and the grab was also out of touch. It's not worth the loss. Seeing that he stopped talking, Xie Wenru continued to ridicule. "The president is a good official. He has graduated for so many years, and he still wants to order me?" Jacob bit his scalp and replied, "I am not giving an order, but to persuade you, for your own good." Xie Wenru immediately replied, "For my good? For my good, you wouldn't let me return to Orus Hill to settle and be with her? I think you guy, it's been so many years and still can't forget Mei Qing. You're afraid I will return to Orus Hill to settle down. Be your rival in love." Hearing what Xie Wenru said, Jacob felt a little guilty. He was indeed afraid that Xie Wenru would become his rival in love, but he certainly couldn't say such things among his classmates. After all, he is now married. Therefore, he could only say in the group against his will, "I'm afraid you have been in Hong Kong for so long, and suddenly you feel uncomfortable when you come back to Orus Hill. We are all old and our bodies are getting old, so we rashly change to a different water and soil. In cities, maybe the health is going to be a problem. Xie Wenru laughed twice and said, I am in good health, so I won't bother you. Jacob didn't bother to talk to him anymore, put his phone in his pocket, and said to Meiqing beside him, Meiqing, let's go inside and go shopping. Meiqing nodded, and went on walking around the alma mater with him. After 10 o'clock, Meiqing checked the time and said to Jacob next to her, the class reunion arrives at 11 o'clock. I think it's almost the time. Let's pass now. Jacob nodded, smiled and said, okay. Later, he drove his BMW 5 Series and brought Meiqing to the Brilliant Club. This time, Paul booked for Meiqing on the 14th floor of the Brilliant Club. This is already the top level of the Brilliant Club, which normal members can reach. Jacob couldn't help being a little surprised. The last time he relied on his son-in-law Charlie to know Lord Mr. Orville, he went to the 10th floor once. But never expected that this time Paul would be able to book directly to the 14th floor. It is said that the 15th floor is used by the Song family and is not open to the public. In other words, Paul should be the most senior member here. Moreover, the 10th floor of the Brilliant Clubhouse is already very, very luxurious. Isn't the 14th floor going to be luxurious to the sky? Walking up the elevator, Jacob couldn't help asking Meiqing next to him, Meiqing, is Paul and the Song family good friend?